everything happens for a reason, and that reason is usually physics. Hello, dear students. My name is م.ڕۆستم, physics teacher at Shahan High School for 23-24 academic year. I hope we will have a wonderful year and full of learning and fun together. Today, we're talking about the very important topics at the physics, grade 12 physics. Our topic is equilibrium state. We have two conditions in equilibrium state. The first one is translational equilibrium state, and the second one is rotational equilibrium state. When an object or any object moved or rotate about the fixed axis, we say that's in the equilibrium state if meets these two conditions. The first one, if the summation force or the net force of the object is equal to 0. When the summation force or the external force, summation of external force on the object equal to 0, this means that the velocity is constant. If v constant or v equal to 0, this means that at rest, then the acceleration of the object is equal to 0. The acceleration of the object is equal to 0. Then the object has translational equilibrium. When the summation force or the external force of the object is equal to 0, this means that the acceleration of the object is 0. When the acceleration of the object is 0 by meets two conditions again. The first one, if the object is at rest, not move, and v equal to 0. And the second one is if the object moves by the constant velocity. V is not changed. When the V is not changed, velocity not change, the object haven't acceleration. Acceleration is equal to 0. Then the summation force is equal to 0. This is the first condition of the equilibrium, translational equilibrium. But must be you know that when we say translational, in the translational moving, we have two types of translational. The first one at the linear path and the linear motion, and the second one is circular motion. Circular motion. When the object at the circular motion or move at the circular path, never be at the equilibrium state, because an inequality force acts on the object when the circular path. Because that, when we say the translational equilibrium, we mean the object when they move at the linear path. This is the first condition. The second one, rotational equilibrium. The first condition we have learned at grade 11. But the second condition, rotational equilibrium state, this is new for you at the grade 12. We see that the net torque, when the net torque is equal to 0, the net torque on the object is equal to 0, the angular speed, the angular velocity or the angular speed is constant. When the angular speed or the angular velocity is constant, this means that the angular acceleration is equal to 0. Look at the board. When the net torque equal to 0, this means that the angular acceleration is equal to 0. The angular acceleration equal to 0 in two situations. The first one, if the object rotates by constant omega and constant velocity, angular velocity. Constant angular velocity. And the second one, when the object at rest. When the object at rest. This means that when the object at rest, this meets both of the condition, translational condition and rotational equilibrium condition. Okay, now we have some notes for calculation or for the mathematical equations. The first one. The first one, at the first, for the mathematical equations, at the first must be you determine the axis of rotation. For example, if you have the seesaw like this, and the pivot are there. This means that this seesaw rotates by this direction or this clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction, and this point is axis of rotation. Axis of rotation. This first step. The second one, always, or we can say 90% of the questions, we start at the second condition. We start at second conditions. Second condition is summation tau or summation torque equal to 0, or you can say that summation tau of clockwise direction must be equal to summation tau of counterclockwise direction. The third step is that if you have two unknowns, we again use the second condition. Use the second condition to find the second unknowns. The second condition is that the summation of force or net force equal to 0, or you can say that the force in plus direction like this, to right or to above, equal to the net force or summation of force by the minus direction. This means that down or left. Then you can find the second unknowns. That's all in torques or at equilibrium state. Thank you for listening, and I hope you joined my class. Goodbye.